Hey everyone. Sorry for the delay on the video, but with me getting engaged a couple weeks ago and with the holiday following right thereafter, I figured I'd just take a 2 week hiatus, and it ended up being more like a 2.5 week hiatus because I ended up not feeling well the past couple of days. So, with that being said, I'm back. Ranger Cafe is back. And we have a winner for the 2021 tournament. I tried to get a guest lined up to be on today. I tried to get Cody, but apparently he is stuck at work. So we're flying solo again tonight. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, want to talk about the vote from this past year for this tournament, or talk about, because I already have the lineup for next year as well for 2022. I already have that all figured out, who lines up where for next year. And if we want to talk about that, we can talk about that. We can talk about episode 6 of Dino Fury, which I plan on talking about. And let's just make a good out of a bad situation, basically. So, with that, let's get this show on the road and announce our winner of the 2021 fan vote for Best Power Ranger Series. Last year's champion in space went up against Time Force this year, and our champion this year is Time Force. In space has been dethroned. So Time Force is our 2021 champion. So, which a lot of people, once they saw how strong Time Force was doing throughout the entire tournament, went and was calling that Time Force is going to end up winning. So it's really not a surprise that Time Force dethrones in space. But I kind of wasn't expecting it to be such a wide margin, though, especially here with the semifinals. I mean, you go by that, in space wins 45-37, and here Time Force just comes blowing out of the gate 80-53. So, yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. I expected it to be closer than what it was. That being said, we will. Let me stop sharing this screen here real quick, and let's pull up another screen. Application window. All right. Let's see what this looks like for you guys. All right. So you guys do have it full screen. Good. Now I know for audio listeners, you won't be able to see this, but I have a breakdown. So if you want to see this breakdown, I have an entire Excel document breaking everything down. Now it's not fully up to date, but it's mainly up to date. Let's take last year for in space was 356 to Dino Thunder at 355 for total votes. All right. So this is our first place. This is our second place. So one vote overall. In space won everything, hands down, straight up. It was for overall vote and just winning through the bracket system. They were the undisputed champion. This year, Time Force wins 225 to 208. So again, we have an undisputed champion, but with a wider margin. But if you look between in space for overall, in space is still number one, where Time Force is still listed at number 3 in the overall seeding, which is why you come over here to the 2022 rankings. You have In Space still holding the number 1 spot, and Time Force holding the number 3 spot, and Dino Thunder is just hanging there at number 2. So our top 3 spots have all been in contention in the past 2 years to win the final round. And then Lost Galaxy is like the crazy uncle that nobody wants to talk about. So, because if you look at Lost Galaxy, overall vote, I mean, they finished 4th here in this year. They finished 4th last year as well. Where Dino Thunder finishes 3rd this year, and they were 2nd last year. But overall rankings or overall votes, Lost Galaxy also went down 2 spots. Now, if you take a look here, Mighty Morphin Season 1, 2020, they were ranked 12th, and they jumped up to 5th. This one here I'm kind of confused about. How does Turbo jump from 24th to 10th? That's nuts. That's not right. Considering the fact that I would put Turbo down at the bottom of my list, but apparently there's more people out there like Turbo than what I gave credit for. Let's see, what was another abnormality that I saw? Ninja Storm goes up a spot. SPD holds at 7. Mystic Force took a drop, which, I mean, yeah, middle of the road. I can see that. They went from 6th to 15th. Yeah, that's about the only abnormality that I saw, which was Turbo, that big jump. Wild Force drops from 5 to 11. But yeah, overall, not terrible changes. It's pretty steady to what it was. If you look at the numbers in comparison, it's 1 or 2 spots here. Occasionally you have a big jump or a big drop. Like Operation Overdrive dropped from 14th to 24th. Jungle Fury jumped from 9th to 4th, and overall seated at number 5. So, I mean, and the only tie for position that we had was Super Samurai and Megaforce. But yeah, short of that, there isn't much more to write home about. There isn't no real abnormalities. Now, the only other thing that I noticed was I was keeping track of vote count. That's why I started doing this spreadsheet. We had over 2,200 votes last year. This year, it felt like we were going to do more, but for some reason, we ended up doing less. We did just slightly north of 2,000 votes this year. So, I don't know what happened there, but it is what it is. We're still in the 2,000 bracket. So I can't really complain. 2,000 votes overall. So, I mean, if there's anything you guys are seeing here on this list that you guys have questions about, I'll leave this up here for a minute so that way everybody can look at it. I mean, I see that we have 3 people watching at the moment. If you have any questions, maybe you're not understanding something that I have listed here, then shoot me a comment. I'll definitely get it. I'll give you guys a minute to look everything over. I mean, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's not complete yet. I got to do the what was it that I still had to do yet? I had to write the code for the rankings on the average seating, I believe is what it was. No, I already did that. Maybe I don't have anything else to do. Maybe it's all done. Yeah, maybe it's all done. All right. Doesn't look like anybody's going to chime in with anything on the comments here. So we will start talking about the newest episode here. But first, I want to remind everybody that we're sponsored by Poddex. As I'm sure you'll see here in the upper left or upper right hand corner. Powered by Poddex. Go to poddex.com, and any purchase that you make will be 10% off if you use Nerd21 as the redemption code. And that's a really simple, easy way to help out Hotel Nerd to be able to fund bigger and better things when the time comes. So just figured I'd get that little plug out there so that way it was taken care of. And now let's just talk about episode 6. I'll be honest, this is where I wish I had somebody to talk to, because my opinion, episode 6 wasn't that great of an episode. Episode 6 to me felt like it was a throwaway. It didn't feel like it set anything up. It was just it was focused on the Pink Ranger. I can't remember what her name is for the life of me, but it dealt with superstition. It just felt like Monster of the Week. I feel like we're in the Monster of the Week territory now for Power Rangers, which I'll be honest, I feel like is its weakest point, because I'm a big fan of Power Rangers that has a storyline from start to finish. This didn't feel like it had a storyline to it. It was just kind of there to take up space. So I'm hoping, and from what I'm hearing, and in case anybody isn't aware of this, I'll say it right now, spoiler alert, but it's been advertised and the picture's been out there for well over a month now. But when Mick comes back, I believe it's in not this week, but the following week, I'll be curious to see where that goes. Other than that, I feel like next week's going to be a throwaway Monster of the Week episode as well. I hope I'm wrong. But I just had this feeling that it's not going to be a great episode. Dino Fury started strong, and the introduction of Green and Black was great. Past couple episodes just hasn't done it for me. Just really hasn't done it for me. So that's just my opinion, though. Short of that, I don't really have anything to talk about for this episode, other than the fact that it felt like Monster of the Week. They dealt with quote unquote issue for a Ranger, and everything came out roses on the other end. So this is why Ranger Cafe needs to have guests with me, because I have my thoughts, and I I don't have anybody to riff off of. So I'm better when I riff off of people with thoughts, because there might be something that somebody else thinks of that I just never thought about. But short of that, that's what I got. Also, you guys might notice I'm wearing a different shirt today. In case you're not aware, April is Autism Awareness Month. I have 2 boys here that are autistic, that they're my kiddos. Like, and I live with it every day. And if anybody has any questions about autism, I'm not going to say that I'm an expert. I live with autism daily. But I'll answer everything I can as best as I can. And if I can't, then I'll definitely find you a way to get the information that you need. And in case anybody's curious about autism, if you want to read something that's really, really good, we'll talk about autism in depth. New York Times just put, and I just seen this in a grocery store, and I bought it. I myself haven't personally looked through it like thoroughly yet, but cover to cover, it's nothing but autism. So that would be a really good resource for people to use to get some information on autism and resources and common questions that are being asked about autism. But I just share this shirt here real quick. I know audio won't be able to see this, but this is the type of autism that my oldest boy has: PDD, NOS. Peer disruption disorder, not otherwise specified. The NOS, I keep forgetting opposite direction here. The NOS here, not otherwise specified, is what actually makes this an autism diagnosis, because they don't have an answer why he is the way that he is. So, but he's doing good. And I have to, because I have a platform to do this, I have to, and I'm going to embarrass the shit out of him. And I don't care, because I'm his dad and I'm allowed to. This boy here that this shirt's made for, Mr. Kenton, he, God, I don't even know where to start, because there's so much that he's just been awarded with here this past week and a half. Third quarter of the report cards, because we're now in quarter 4. He is a straight A student. He is student of the month for the middle school, which has hundreds of kids. So that's no small feat. He also is going to get a certificate from the school about being a straight A student. He is also now eligible for the Junior National Honor Roll Society, which we just found out about 2 days ago. Or no. Well, yeah, I guess as of this recording, it'd be 2 days ago. So this is coming from an autistic kid. Don't ever let them say that autistic kids can't do anything. My boy will prove you wrong. My boy will basically look at you and say, "Hold my beer." Because he just kicked that, and he's been kicking ass all year long. Even with the pandemic, even with the remote learning, he's been kicking ass all year long. He's been B's and A's all year. Never, if you have an autistic child, never, I'm telling you this as a parent, never, ever let anybody ever tell you that your kid will never amount to anything, will never accomplish anything. will never do anything worthwhile in their life. My boy just blew the goddamn roof off the house in the last quarter. And he's been blowing the roof off the house all year long in the middle of a goddamn pandemic when he should be doing his worst. Autism is not a disability. Autism is a goddamn superpower. Never, ever let anybody ever tell you that your kid or you, if you're autistic, will ever, never amount to anything, because it is dead wrong. You can do it. They can do it. You just gotta have to nurture and have the support to make it happen. It's a long road, but it can happen. Anybody wants to argue that point with me, I will fight you. Straight up. Not even a question. I will fight you on this. My boy has proved everybody wrong. And he's been proving everything that I've ever said about him right. And he's been proving everything that his mom ever said about him to be right up till her dying breath. It's possible. With the right support system, anything's possible for anybody. But with that said, I will get off the autism soapbox. But as you can tell, I'm very passionate about autism because I live with it every day. And I've been told so many times that it was an impossible fight, that you would never see dividends from it. He'll never succeed. He'll always live with you. He's always going to be a burden. And he's going to be this and that and every other thing. I've had multiple people, even within my family and within Kim's, my deceased wife's family, tell me this. If he keeps going the way he's going, he's going to be fine. Between him and his siblings, he will be fine. But with that said, I will call it a night. We have nobody here in chat. And I really don't have anything else to talk about for Power Rangers. Other than I really hope you did it in the movies. I just got to say this. You did it in the movies. You had an autistic Power Ranger in the movies. We need one on the show. Somewhere. I don't care where. Somewhere. Even if it's just a character that's not even a ranger. I don't even need it to be a ranger. Just somewhere. Representation. But yeah, I could go on about autism, and I'm not going to do that. That's not the platform to do this on. But I had to do the Proud Papa moment, because I'm just ecstatic. So if you get to this point in the video, thank you for dealing with my rant about my boy being a success, because I'm over the goddamn moon about that. But yeah, with that said, I will call it a night. Have yourselves a good night. Congratulations to Time Force on winning the 2021 fan vote. We will see you in 2022. Next episode, we'll talk about the next episode of Dino Fury. I don't know what else we're going to talk about. Maybe break down that Excel spreadsheet a little bit more once I finalize all the numbers. But yeah, short of that, have yourselves a good night. May the power protect you.